Watch Dogs Legion is the third outing for Ubisoft's open-world hacking franchise, and it's the developer's biggest swing yet. Does this game have what it takes to put Watch Dogs on the path to greatness?
Looks like you're DedSec's best hope.
Or is this dog better off being put down? Find out in our review. Watch Dogs Legion leaves the United States behind in favor of a European setting. Set in the bustling city of London, Watch Dogs Legion once again follows hacker group DedSec, this time fighting to clear their reputation.
But the whole world thinks DedSec did the bombings. So who are the real bad guys?
Following a terrorist attack on Parliament, DedSec is falsely accused as the perpetrating party, leading to harsher surveillance laws being enacted, and a large portion of London's population seeing DedSec as a terrorist group.
From what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed DedSec for their dirty work.
Now players are tasked with rebuilding DedSec's ranks, recruiting characters from all walks of life via the new Play As Anyone mechanic. It's a story that delves into political intrigue, drama, and betrayal. The simple question of who was really behind the Zero-Day attack is one that kept me guessing until the very end. While it lacks the emotional swing of Watch Dogs 2, it's a pretty solid story following our favorite group of hackers.
The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you.
The focal selling point of Watch Dogs Legion is its Play As Anyone mechanic. Unlike past entries in the series, Watch Dogs Legion has no protagonist. Instead, players are able to recruit practically any NPC that they come across and play as them, allowing anyone to be the hero. Being able to play as anybody truly delivers on the promise of Watch Dogs.
I'm not afraid. Let's get to work.
Since Aiden Pierce first took to the streets in the original game, players have been able to scan and hack data on any character, revealing unique personal information and details about any given citizen. However, this was always a feature that never went further than the occasional laugh. In Watch Dogs Legion, a character's occupation and hobbies are directly tied to how they play. If an NPC is a construction worker, recruiting them may yield a nailgun weapon, as well as a personal cargo drone that players can use to lift themselves into the skies. This will also allow players to enter areas restricted to construction workers, without having them to sneak and hide behind cover. It's the integration of this feature that makes Watch Dogs Legion a blast.
Okay, I'm ready.
During my playthrough, I saw an Albion officer, Watch Dogs Legion's militarized police force, harassing folks on the corner of a busy street. With his occupation, he already had a negative view on DedSec. After diving into his profile, I discovered that someone was blackmailing him with some personal information. I went and found the blackmailer, erased their files, leaving them powerless over the aforementioned Albion officer. After learning what I'd done for him, the officer was no longer negative towards DedSec, and I was then able to recruit him into my hacker group. The Albion officer became my go-to character for nearly the entire Albion arc of missions in the Watch Dogs Legion's campaign. I'd simply walk right into a heavy protected facility, just needing to act natural in order to keep my cover. It completely transformed the way I approached any Albion missions. This is how Watch Dogs Legion shines. The franchise has always given players the power of choice, letting them choose to run into a mission with guns blazing, or completing the same mission without ever setting foot in restricted territory or harming a soul. Play As Anyone takes this concept and multiplies it by 50. I found myself constantly swapping between characters in order to find whatever DedSec operative was best suited for the given mission.
Done and done.
If you need anything at all, I'm at your service.
What I found fascinating was Watch Dogs Legion's permadeath mode. Players can toggle this on, meaning that any operative killed in combat is gone forever. To up the stakes, players can turn on Iron Man mode, which locks the campaign in permadeath. If all operatives are killed and there's nobody remaining, game over. You're done. Playing on Iron Man mode raised the stakes exponentially, as I couldn't allow myself to be careless when approaching any given mission scenario.
Poor thing. We've another one to mourn.
Operative KIA. Apologies.
The characters also have unique interactions with others based on their backgrounds. While playing as a famous live streamer, past buyers would say things like, "I'm a huge fan," or "I love your work." It's this attention to detail that makes London feel alive and immersive. As great as the play as anyone mechanic is for gameplay, it takes a bit of luster away from the story. In Watch Dogs 2, we got emotionally invested in characters like Marcus and Wrench, worry about how their stories would end. In Watch Dogs Legion, it's hard to develop a personal attachment to any one character, as they are essentially NPCs that you assign to fill slots in the story. While it's extremely fun and silly to see my paintballing street artist in cutscenes with powerful politicians and rich moguls, I never felt that emotional investment that I got in the previous games. It also doesn't help that there's a ton of reused faces, further eliminating the sense of individuality in several of the characters. I also found some of the facial animations to be a bit robotic when watching NPCs speak during cutscenes.
You tired of living in the darkest timeline? You look like you could do something about it.
Do you happen to be in DedSec, dear? Because I have an offer you'll find interesting.
The gameplay in Watch Dogs Legion is once again a balance between traditional firearms and technology. Players can hack cameras and drones to get behind closed doors to either complete objectives or scout locations. Legion also adds a brand new controllable gadget to the hacking series, the Spider-Bot. This 8-legged robot can be used to infiltrate restricted locations and hack physical circuits. It can even stealthily take down enemies along the way. The Spider-Bot quickly became my favorite tool in Watch Dogs Legion, as I prefer to keep my player out of danger, letting the bots and drones do all the heavy lifting. As for the weapons, players will no longer go to a store and buy the weapons of their choosing. Instead, recruiting operatives with weapons will allow other members of DedSec to equip them, given they're able to use that weapon class. For example, the secret spy I recruited to my team used a silenced pistol, which I couldn't access by any other means. This incentivizes players to get out into the world and add more characters to the ranks. In the open world of London, players will find the world divided into different boroughs. Each borough has different uprising tasks that will turn public favor toward DedSec. These tasks can be vandalizing propaganda, photographing evidence, or rescuing arrested freedom fighters. Completing all of the uprising tasks will unlock a special recruitment mission for one of several unique operatives. These agents come with rare bonuses, like a car that shoots missiles, or a personal attack drone. More or less, the boroughs and their subsequent tasks are Watch Dogs Legion's take on Ubisoft's common open world formula. However, there's only 3 or 4 tasks per area, so it never feels like I'm being bombarded with busy work just to light up more dots on my map. Plus, turning a borough will make the citizens in that area more fond of DedSec, making it easier to recruit operatives.
You can go your own way, or you can join DedSec. What do you think?
Right. Count me in.
Watch Dogs Legion is undoubtedly the most fun and exciting entry in the series. Play as anyone is a mechanic that really elevates the gameplay experience, truly delivering on the core premise of the franchise. The campaign is solid, though it lacks the emotional investment and standout characters of the previous series entries. Overall, Watch Dogs Legion is a hacking good time and a great addition to Ubisoft's technology-based saga. For more video reviews and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on Shacknews.com.